I need coffee. He who has the dragon mug has the power. All right, last online winter residency 2026. One, how did we get here? And then two, how did we get here? There are less than 20 weeks left until graduation day as I'm filming this. That blows my mind. There's still a lot of work to be done, don't get me wrong. So let's dive in because I have work to do. Okay, so this was the schedule that we had. It was so well paced. Don't get me wrong, it still felt incredibly packed. But perhaps, I don't know why I felt this way. Is it because I was ready for this experience? I knew what it was like last year, so I prepared differently. Or did they really change it? And I have not taken the time to compare notes of the two different schedules, but what I will say, benefit this year did not have a pre-residency assignment, and I thank the gods. Honestly, that pre-residency assignment landed in my lap at the worst opportune time. And granted, you know, of course, life in January is chaotic, and the end of Christmas and the beginning of a new year. We had one person in my house vomiting the week before residency began, and then literally the second day into residency, the other person in my household came down with a fever. How I have not succumbed to either of these two things, I don't know, but what I will say is I kept my distance. I was chugging vitamins like nobody's business. I was just like, if anyone gets me sick for this week on Zoom, I will lose my absolute mind. Thankfully, I didn't have to lose my mind. So just looking at this, very well paced. I will say, being on the East Coast, this did mean that my day wasn't starting until, what was it? The 12 to 12:30 coffee sessions, which are optional. You do not have to attend these, but of course you do want to, because they're an opportunity to network, they're an opportunity to glean some information perhaps you didn't already have, and then kicking off at 1 all the way down to 5:45. There were evening sessions that occurred between 8 my time to 9:30 my time, which was not optimal. You kind of take it as it is and you work with what you've got. The mornings allowed me time to start unrushed, to feed myself, have a good breakfast, to exercise, to you know, catch up on my emails or whatever other work I was trying to get done that day at the same time. So it was well paced. It really was well paced. I could have done without the 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. stop time. Depending on where you are at in the country, depends on what time these landed. We have mentor workshops, which is time that you have with your new mentor and the cohort group that you have. I think there's about usually like 4 to 5 to 6 people per group. Then there's seminars, and there are panels, and of course the night events, which are reading nights, and then there's a social at the end. In comparison to last year's online residency, this slapped, as the kids like to say. There was a ton of time that there was like, if I could split myself in half, there was part of me that was going, la 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 la, because there is a point where you have to steel yourself from what you're being told. And by that I mean, for me, I have a clear idea of where I'm at. I have a clear idea of where I'm not at yet. I also have a clear idea of what I don't know yet or haven't yet climbed that part of the mountain. So to take in information from people who are giving me information for a part of the journey that, you know, my brain's not ready to climb yet, there is a part of me that has to kind of write it down and then forget about it. That was definitely happening, and I think if you can find a way to do that that honors who you are, everyone's different in how they take in information, but also, you know, tucks it away for later. I think that's a smart skill to have. I'm still learning how to best harness that skill. there is something to be said about being able to shelve the information you're being given so that you don't just start crying. Like sometimes it's just too much and you just need to like write it down and go, great resource, point bullet form the few things that you're feeling like, you know, these are the things I need to focus on, and then just set it aside, flip the page. Pitching happened. Thankfully, I was part of the cohort last year who did winter residency in first year who pitched, but this year they didn't do pitches for first years. So it was just second years this year who pitched. I had an amazing experience last year, amazing experience again this year. I pitched to an editor and an agent this year, and they both gave me incredible feedback, encouragement, positive experience all around. I think some people go in trying to make sure that they sell their book. I personally think that every time I pitch, I'm going in with the mindset of what can I learn from this experience? I'm always trying to figure out how I can serve my project better, and if someone's going to give me feedback, I get to decide if I believe that that feedback serves the project or not, and I'm always open to what that feedback is. I think you can always tell when someone's motivation is off, and I think that's the amazing thing about pitching opportunities is that you get to really practice the thing, get the feedback and go, wow, like that actually, yeah, that would help. Or you get to go, maybe I'm not really feeling that feedback. Maybe I didn't deliver my end of things clear enough so that they understood it. And this is part of the process. Okay, and lastly, how I survived. Well, coffee for one. Lots of coffee, tea at the end of the day, non-decaf. So I did switch up. I prepped all my meals for the weekdays. And let me just tell you, that saved my life, because then on break, I wasn't trying to cook this whole thing or figure out what I was going to eat. Sometimes you only had 15 minutes in between sessions. So whether it was 15 minutes or 30 minutes, I was able to go into the kitchen, heat up what I had already pre-made for myself, sit back down. It was perfect. No regrets. Every single day at the end of the day, I would go for a walk. Yes, it's the dead of winter. Yes, it was dark, but thankfully there is a walking route that I can choose to take that's well lit, neighborhood, and I walked the stress off. Cold air and movement do amazing things for your nervous system. That walk every day saved me. Okay, that's it, folks. I'm exhausted. I have assignments to write. Oh my gosh, we only have one more of these.